and they're being dishonest because they have crouched the letters, of course, under the Land and Surveys Department, but they purport to say that the letter is coming from Keith Francis, Chief Surveyor. I don't know that the Chief Surveyor have authority to tell people to move like that merely by a letter in 7 days. This letter should have come under the Physical Planning and Development Board, and they should have given them the normal notice, which they cannot do now because an enforcement order should be made within 5 years. So they recognize that what happened to the Massey fellas when they tried to remove the fellas from Massey. I appealed, and I said that the appeal, the letter to them had no merit because the enforcement order was not given on proper grounds and within the proper time frame, and therefore they would have to withdraw the letter. And so they did, apparently, because the people are still there. Now they believe that they could circumvent the law, and this is the dishonesty of it all, and come and purport to give a letter to all of them that is signed by Keith Francis, telling them exactly what they should have told them if they were coming under the Town and the Physical Planning Act.
Business operators in close proximity to this Arnos Vale bypass bridge are being urged to move. Deputy Prime Minister Montgomery Daniel, who is also the head honcho at the Transport and Works Ministry, declined to offer any comments when approached. Chief Surveyor Keith Francis suggested that questions regarding the compensation being offered to the affected small business operators and the unfolding construction schedule should be put to the chief engineer or the minister himself. Francis later granted a very detailed interview with SVG TV. Chief Engineer Alistair Campbell, on the other hand, could not be reached. Luckily, we caught up with Curtis King, West St. George's constituency representative, as he presented the government's most up-to-date offer to the small business community.
Yeah, exactly what's happening here in Arnos Vale, and I realize you're updating the residents, the property owners in the area. If you just let us know basically.
Yeah, basically, as you would have known and heard, that those who are owning, operating these shelters, these business enterprises, if you call it that, out here, they have been asked to be removed because of developments close by the Arnos Vale playing field. Sorry, the Arnos Vale tarmac, decommissioned airport. And basically we're going to compensate persons. Okay, that's the key thing I was explaining to persons, that all those who own structures will be compensated, as well as those persons who are running business, they would be paid an extra $2,500 for the loss of the income.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the case of those who are school environment friendly, would they be allowed to relocate on the tarmac? I realize it's about...
I can't answer that. Okay. The over there is basically the National Properties Limited. They are charged with the responsibility of that part, the decommissioned airport. So I can't say what will be allowed and not allowed over there.
And the last notice gave 7 days. How soon do persons have to be relocated now?
I mean, those are just basically things required by the law. How soon the work commences there would determine how soon they are moved from there.
That's what I'm trying to get to. What's the schedule like now?
I can't give you the schedule. I can't. Because basically that's the engineers, the planning people, the works people. Those are the ones who will be dealing with them.
2005, yeah, 2005 for how long? If we offer it on an ongoing basis for 2 or 3 months or 6 months, or till my last son finished school, he's 9 years old. Yeah, if they offer it like there, but 2005 will also a business like this. We pay light, we pay water, we pay tax, and it is 2005 is too low for a business that based on sending your children to school and food, based on food and everything, it is 2005 is too low. The structure, I don't mind about the structure. The structure is not really mine, so I don't mind about the structure.
Did MP King indicate when you have to move? I know the last notice said 7 days, and it's been...
Well, 7 days was expired. 7 days expired, so we're still here after the 7 days. We're still after the 7 days, and you know, we still go and feel.
Oh man, I don't talk to Jeppy.
Yeah, we still go and we feel happy we still here. So, but the time we taking on a time frame, a timing, because we talking about relocation. You understand? And I know where to go. Even though we move, even though they give you the structure, because move the structure, it thing belongs to you, and they still pay you for it. But you know, the time frame is too short to remove a business base and clientele, and your people come in looking for the item, and based on the school going open and thing. Based on school going open, we say, well, no, we're going to make a, you know, more income and thing go come in. We're going to renovate, me cook food, you know, people have to eat food, they have to work, they have to eat, they have to drink. I sell juice, I get Tambran, Sorrel, all kind of local juice I get.
Okay.
You understand?
I understand that the tenants here, well, you guys basically sought some legal advice. Is that really the case?
Yes, we did, but we don't want to politicize it and make it look like a political, that we base it on a political thing. You understand? We did some legal advice, but we don't want to politicize it and base on politics. Because right now, politics and COVID. Politics and COVID right now. So we don't want to base it on that. So we don't want to politicize it, base it on, and because we seek legal advice and we go to a council, we don't want to believe that we seek it on an advice based on politics. This is not politics, this is livelihood. You understand? This is tradition, this is livelihood. You go up on the street and beat a drum or sell we call it a Tamban juice or a Dalpin. The same thing, we survive. But me have 2 sons, 3 of them, right? Going to school from this day, right? You have to pay light, you have to pay water, we paying tax, light and water and things. So we think the 7 days was too short. 7 days was too short. And based on illegal advice, we don't want to stress it out at this moment, because we not get back from council yet. What the council tell we know we're going on, because 2005 for a business we children depend upon.
You have not been able to take the offer that you just received from the area MP to your...
Well here now. Hey, let me tell you something. They say half a loaf is better than nothing at all. If you have to take something, you have to take it. Because in America, say you refuse it 2005 and I get nothing. You understand? So, based on that, you say half a loaf is better than all. Better than nothing at all.
What's the value of the premises here? I understand you say you're paying tax.
Yes, please.
That means the property here
was valued, yeah, they was valued, but we don't know the value that they valued it for, because they came and do some measurements and everything. So, based on that, we not say we have to move and we don't want to move, but come on, man, a family, we have to support. What do we go do? What do we go do? Huh? Plant some weed, you still get a couple of weed right now. So, it makes no sense.
Alright, thank you so very much. Anything else you want to share before we wrap this?
Yeah, we good. But based on everything, we don't want to politicize it as make it political. There's a political thing. You understand? Because it's a government I support for years, up and years. You understand? Yeah.
You satisfied with the offer?
But, no, we're not satisfied with the offer, but we say half a loaf is better than at all. If you get something, more than get nothing. You understand? Yeah.
And think that they can therefore circumvent the law and just move them like that. These people have certain rights. They have been there. Yes, it is not their land, but they have been there plying their trades for some of them, as I said, between 20 to 30 years. And no government could just come and tell you in 7 days that you have to leave. That is a heartless, thoughtless government. And then to try to trick them by telling them to come because they're going to arrange some sort of compensation. From what my clients have said to me, there's nothing proper done. They're talking about some vague figure of valuing the place and compensating them. It is not worth the time, as far as I'm concerned. If you're going to do something like that, the clients must be involved in the valuation themselves.
I now had a shorter conversation with the MP. Like, my concern is how soon will we be compensated? Because he say that he's not sure how soon we're gonna move. Other than the 7 days that they did give, well, we're still here, but he's not sure how soon we're gonna move. So my question to him was, before I remove my structure, I would like to be compensated and stuff like that, so I could know where I'm going next, where I'm heading. I don't want the lying just lying out there, nothing and waiting and whatever. But he didn't have any answers towards what I asked. So it's still confusing to me. Because if today, tomorrow they come, whenever they decide to come and say, well, time for take down the structure, I don't know what my other outcome is going to be, and I don't want to be littering and just be out in the rain. So that is my great concern right now.
Since this thing happened, are you able to find an alternate location for your business?
No, not at all. I mean, sudden, it's so sudden, and I mean, that one is a hard one. Trust me, it's just stressful.
Are you satisfied with the offer? I understand it was $2,500 for loss of business. Was there any other mention of monies?
Well,
$2,500.
he said $2,500 for compensation for like loss of use, and they will be paying you for your structure. So I don't know what the payment will be for the structure. I don't know the value, however, how they value it, how they're gonna deal with it. So I can't say if I'm satisfied at the moment.
So at this point, more questions than answers as far as you're concerned?
Yes.
Have you been able to touch base with anybody from Raksha or the Ministry of Transport and Works for that one?
Not from since, because the minister said yesterday he would have been back here. He called and then he said he was in several meetings, and then he ain't sure if he could make it, but eventually I see he showed up. So
which minister is that?
Curtis King. Other than that, nobody else came forward.
Any other concerns to you?
Well, not really. My concern is, I mean, once you can't stop them, they say you have to move, they say progress have to do. You can't fight against them, but nobody know, well, as I say, how short, how soon, because he can't make answers to that. So we could wake up tomorrow or the day after, and you just see they come with full force and demands that you have to move, and then that is real stressful. So it come like we still hanging. We still hanging because we ain't sure when will be compensation. We ain't sure about that. If today, tomorrow my structure move, there's nothing for me to do to make ends meet in the meanwhile.
They must have a say, and it cannot
Involved
be
how?
In terms of to point out what the value of their own property too, and to have a say as to the value of the business, because only they can say what kind of business they were doing and what it is worth. It is not just the physical structure, it is the value of the business, and and there's no talk apparently of relocating them. Absolutely none. And so, as I said to my clients, if this was election time, this would never happen. They would get all sorts of promises and try to relocate and all sorts of things. But because it is now, they're using this. And I don't think the area representative is being straightforward with them. To turn up there at this point and to actually even go along with a 7-day notice to leave shows to me that he doesn't care about the people in the area. And so I have appealed to the correct board, which is the Physical Planning and Development Board, and I'll just very quickly says what the appeal says. I act on behalf of Messrs. Maxford Nickie, Ina Campbell, Clement Cox, Rudolph Gibson, Julian Davis, and Marilyn John, owners occupiers of land at Arnos Vale. I hereby appeal your letter, and I put in brackets enforcement order on the following grounds. No enforcement notice was served on either of my 6 clients. Even if a notice was served, it would be illegal and void and of no effect, not being served within a period of 5 years as mandated by law. The letter was not served in accordance with any specified provision of the relevant act, and that is the Town and Country Planning Act. The letter must therefore be withdrawn. The letter was served on the 14th of September 2021, is discriminatory and contravenes the Constitution of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The attempt to evade the Town and Country Planning Act is illegal and cannot be thus circumvented. Those are the main grounds, and I have yet to have a response from them. This letter was sent on the 22nd of September 2021. I haven't had a response from them, but as I said, their idea of circumventing the act is to have it being issued. I don't know what is this legal authority. No authority is cited in this letter. No right of appeal, no recourse, just move. This is a heartless, ridiculous letter. And so if they try to force my clients off, we will be taking further legal steps because they're not following the law.
Are you aware that some demolition did occur on the site out there?
Yes, I was told that where Ras John used to be. Ras John, his name? What's his name? Papa. I've forgotten. Where he used to be, and apparently it had no water, no electricity or something like that, that they had removed it. But that person is not one of my clients. I'm not even sure if they had a tenant there as such. So they have started with the easiest. And to think that by removing them, they could intimidate the others. But as far as I'm concerned, my clients are resolute. And even though they are not against finally removing, they have to be properly compensated and they would need to be relocated. In this COVID time, to throw out so many persons from plying a living and not decide where you're going to put them, to my mind, is heartless, apart from being illegal. You can't do that. So that's the position.
Are you aware of any of the compensation details as espoused by MP Curtis King?
No, my client said to me, I spoke with one of them who's like the spokesman for the group, and I was told that they had some vague discussion of some sort of compensation. It is very vague. They went away frustrated after that meeting yesterday because, as I said, they had no input into, or it does not appear that the ministry intends to have them make an input into what their compensation should be. As I said before, that must involve the persons who they're saying to move, because they would know what sort of income they were making and what they stand to lose. It's not just the physical structure that they have to compensate them for, because they would probably be without an income for about 6 months or so, and any compensation would have to be proper. You can't just say to shut your business and close down. These people have children to go to school. They have a family to mind. I mean, they're not on their own. It may be 1 or 6 or 7 letters, but you have to multiply that by the family that you're going to be depriving of income. The people have a right to work. They have a right to earn a living. And any government must respect those rights. So
I'm told there was a $2,500 offer for loss of income, but it's not clear when that money would be paid.
Well, I don't have that information. As I said,
okay.
I don't have that information, and I would trust that they don't just settle for any old offer, because this government is famous for making aspirational offers, even when it is signed, sealed, and delivered by no less a person than the Prime Minister himself, as occurred with the teachers. So I would hope that they do not go and settle for any offer and sign up anything without first seeking, my advice.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to figure out your particular case with the car wash now.
Car wash thing.
The car, the car wash is slightly different from everybody else.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
So they didn't tell you nothing to us?
They didn't tell me nothing, yeah. Yeah, sir.
But I think outside Davis here, you've probably been here the longest, no? Around, all right?
Been here before you.
You've been here before Davis?
No.
And then you have a shop here as well? On the,
I did have a shop.
oh,
I was a full-time taxi runner. They used to do it first. Over the sun. By 8, above 8, when we parking lot there. It's a good place to me. Yeah. If I get a place like that where I could get space to hold about 4 or 5 weeks at a time. And a shed. I good with that. And a pipe there over there on time. So I good with that part. I don't see that.
have you been able to make any representation to anybody, talk to anybody about that particular idea?
No, I never talked to nobody about that. Yeah. Time when the time come to the police, to explain and show him that. Yeah.